Hi everyone, it's Lucy from Sweet Poppy Stencils. Today I thought I would show you one of the makes that I didn't get a chance to do on Create and Craft this week. It's using the beautiful Festive Candle, and it's just a quick simple way of adding a little bit of colour but without too much effort. And it's one of my favourite techniques. It's a bit of a cheap way of getting your colour on. So we're going to start off. We've got a topper which is 10.5 by 14. Now this is the Bockingford Hot Press watercolour card. It is the smooth card. The cold press you'll find has pimples on it, like bumps on it. So we're gonna pop it into my stamp press. Now I've got a couple of things. Obviously I have my watercolour pens. You could do this with a dye base ink if you haven't got any watercolour pens, but I like the watercolour pens because they can be a little bit more precise. So I'm going to go with a couple of colours, just randomly picking orange, yellow. That's lovely. That's in the right place. That meant to be there. Lovely. Okay, so I've got some greens. What else? I need my grey as well. You can do this with the set one as well. So just pick colours that suit you, that you like, not necessarily what I like. So as you can see, those are the colours of my choice at the moment that I'm going with. Okay, so I need a little water spray. Obviously we're going with the beautiful Festive Candle stamp, and I've actually, rather than using the sentiment from that, I'm going to use this sentiment. I do love this quirkiness. This is from the Eat, Drink and Be Merry set. It's one of our new sets as well. So I've got Morning Mist in the Versifying Clair. I do have Nocturne as well for the sentiment. I don't know whether yet if I'll stamp with it or not, or keep it to the Morning Mist. Okay, so let's fire away. So the stamp. Now this does stain your stamp, so give it a little bit of a clean afterwards. So line up. I'm aware of where my sentiment's going to go, which is about there. So I'm going to pick it up, pop it down. Now I don't want this to move, I want this to stay put, so I am just going to be double secure and just put a little bit of our stencil tape there. So make sure that you're in shot. Yes you are. A little bit of glare, do apologise. And here we go. So I'm just going to pick up some colours and randomly just touch in areas where I want the colour to be. Now I would say, if when you're applying your colour, if you're going from a dark to a light, you know, you're going to contaminate your pens, so just be aware of that and clean off your nibs every time you're doing this, as you'll see in a sec. So I'm just dabbing, just looking for all the sprigs. So that's my first one. So this is the lighter one, so I know I'm picking up the dark colour on my brush tip. So I will make sure that before I put that away, that gets cleaned. And all you need to do is just clean it on a bit of card or on your mat and pop it away. The candle, so we're going again, adding colour down there. A little bit of colour in the middle, and then I'm going to go in, add a little bit more colour there, and again making sure I'm not contaminating. So this is beautiful, this colour, it's one of my favourites. This is the mauve, so real soft and subtle. You'll find that when you add your water to it, it's very random, your colouring. Don't stress about it, it's meant to look like that. You're going to put all your fine detail in afterwards. So I'm quite happy, a bit more colour there, a little bit in the middle, cleaning off. And again, I'm going back in with a little bit of yellow just to touch up areas. So you can see I'm dirtying my nib. That's fine. So I'm just going to clean off until it's lovely and clean again. And we're going to go in with grey for the candle. So just dragging it along. And you're just colouring the stamp in, that's all you're doing. But as I said, be aware that your stamp won't be pristine and clean. It will take some of the colour, but it's not hurting it. Lovely. Again, clean off. Reach over, just get a little baby wipe, clean those off. Lovely. Okay, so you've now got colour on your stamp. So make sure that you're in shot. Lovely. So what we're going to do is we're going to spritz a couple of spritz of water. Get yourself a piece of kitchen roll and just check that you've got no obvious pooling of water. So we're just going around the edges. And if you were really conscious of it, you could even touch areas if you didn't want too much colour there. Lovely. Okay, so now we're going to go in with our stamp. So we're on and we're pushing the colours around. So you're just smushing all your colours. And up, that's your first colour. You're going to go in with your heat gun. And you're just going to dry off that area. What you can do is you can suck up some of the water. That's your first one. That's your first swipe. So it's very random, as you can see. Now, again, I'm going in with the second one. So I'm quite happy with that. That's enough colour for me. So I'm just going to clean up my stamp. Now, this will be a squeak one. This is my Stamps by Me stamp cloth. There we go. So it's wet stamp now. So what I need to do is do not move your stamp. Keep it in the same place. It's really important that that stays in the same place. Quite happy, but I'm going to give it a quick blast so that I can make sure that I've got no water on there. What you can do is, yeah, lovely. So we're now going to put your fine detail in. I'm just checking that you're in shot. So I'm going in with Morning Mist. So I love this colour. So it's not a harsh black, you know, it's soft. I do stamp a lot in the browns and the greys sometimes to just take away and soften it a little bit. So gentle taps, making sure we're all lovely and coloured. I've got no pooling or anything like that. So that is why it's so important to make sure that your stamp is dry before you go in with your VersaFine Clair. This picks up all the beautiful detail that our designer has created for us. So we're letting it sink into the cardstock. Lovely. And there you go. Isn't it beautiful? It's such a beautiful way of playing with your stamp. So I've got all that colour in. I can still really apply more colour if I wanted to. You know, I could take my pencils and enhance it, which I will do around the candle. So we're taking the stamp off. So I'm going to keep it there for the moment. I'm going to apply a little bit of the orange. And I've got water. Now, I've got a favourite brush. It's the smaller water brush of the two. So in the sets, let me take the nib off. In the sets, you have the small and the large. I use this mostly. I just find it gives me all the detail that I need. Now, I don't, as you know, I don't fill my barrels because sometimes I grip them too hard and I find it releases too much. When you're wanting to open and fill your barrels, you're opening it that way. Okay, So when you're closing, it's the opposite. So it's the reverse of what you would actually think. So taking off a little bit of the water, and I'm just picking up just a bit, and I'm going to go in, and again pulling out. If I feel I've got too much, I can dab it, and I can just add more if I want to. Lovely. So you could even 3D it, you know, you could really go to town, and you could 3D the candle with glossy accents if you have glossy accents. So you could really go to town. So I'm just going to pull that a little bit, and I'm going to take away. There we go. I think that is just good to go. So just pulling that down, taking away. Let's add a little bit more colour there. Just take it away if you're not sure of it. Lovely. Just pulling out a little bit of the colour. So wash my water brush, make sure it's nicely dry, back in its point, pop that to one side. So we're going to add some words into it, and as I said, I love the script anyway that is on this candle set, but I just want something a bit more funky because I've already got one sample with, as you can see, I've used the Christmas. So peace. So I'm just going to make sure that we are reasonably straight. Yes, that's good to go. Okay, now I'm going to go in with black, I think. Could be the wrong choice, you never know. It's just a sample. Gentle taps, don't over flood. And we're going to go in. No, I'm not. I'm going to change my mind. See, this is the joy of the stamp press. This one has little springs, so it's no contact with these ones until you actually, with your clear ones. If I was on the red rubber, then I would notice a difference. I'm not sure if this is going to be dark enough. We don't know. No, it's not going to be dark enough. It is a very faint grey, so let's just give it go over. Sorry, I got a squeaky chair. Right, okay, making sure I'm in shot still, and we're going to just walk it. Let it soak into your cardstock. Get rid of my water whilst it soaks in. Lovely. There we go, beautiful. Okay, let's just let that dry a few seconds whilst we get the mount. So we're going to mount it on the same colour card. Let me clean off the stamp first. Fabulous. Okay, pop that away to the side. So you could even add a bit of sparkle to it. It's up to you. So this was a 7x7, but I've cut it down slightly. I just thought it didn't need to be on a big square card, so I have trimmed it down a little bit. So I've got, as I said, this was 10.5 by 14. So this is, the mount is just a little bit bigger, that's all. So let's go in with a bit of wet glue. I do sometimes use the rollers for quickness, but it frustrates me because I do find that over time they do lift slightly, and especially when something's up on the boards, I do lose a couple of samples. So we're just moving it in slightly. There we go. Letting it settle. Excuse my scribbles. There we go. And again, this is our craft glue. So got a little bit of time just to straighten it up. That's reasonably straight, that's not bad. So as I said, if I wanted, just find that's not quite, this is just a pencil. That's a bit better. So if I wanted a little bit of colour, a little bit of 3D, what I could do is, if I can get my, no, it's not going to work. So I could use glossy accents just in the candle area, but mine's blocked for the moment. I haven't got a pin. So there we go. Two beautiful festive candles. Now you could mount this on craft card and that would look stunning as well. So, you know, play around, see what you've got in your stash, and don't forget to share your makes on our Facebook social media pages. Hope you enjoyed the technique, and don't forget to tune in for future ones.